computer.
Oh, it's you.
Cole. Hey, Cole. Are you still on chemo?
Now I'm all done. My face is all lovely and beautiful.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, John, I got to tell you, the last few weeks have been a real roller coaster ride. Some pretty aggressive comments coming in on the some challenges on our
What?
YouTube
On our
channel.
show?
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that today we need to talk about something less controversial, something that no one could find fault with or argue with. And I've got the perfect
It's
topic.
got to be a gear show.
Kittens. Let's
What?
talk about kittens. Or maybe puppies.
Oh,
Puppies I
puppies.
prefer.
I love, you know
Puppies, yeah.
what? We're thinking about getting another puppy,
Of
actually.
course. Nobody who says loses a dog and says I'll never own another one, they can never hold out.
Well, but I never said we'd never own another one. We just trying to wait for the right time. But man, it's so hard. I mean, we see these dogs and puppies on Instagram all the time, and people send it to us. We can't hold out any longer.
Yeah.
So at some point, and are you a puppy or a kitten guy?
Oh, I'm a puppy guy 100%. Now I love kittens, but there's nothing like a dog. We actually have a cat that's like a dog. He comes to his when you call his name, and he's pretty
Oh,
good.
really?
Yeah.
I got another subject. One of the feedbacks that we're getting on our show, you talk about like nitpicky, is people either, how I guess, and I didn't know I was even doing this once again because we're so technically savvy, but we can either be side by side or you can be on top or I can be on top. And I got tired. I got tired of the comments where people saying they're sick and tired of you being on top.
Okay, let's move it along.
Well, no, it's how the script, you know what I mean? So if I, anyway,
I know exactly what you mean.
I think I have them side by side now. It's like we got a nice
I
double
hope
bed.
so.
We got a double bed now. You're on the left side.
Okay.
I'm on the right
It'd be
side.
like the
Hey,
Mary Tyler Moore show, though, where the actors
remember
had to be
that?
in separate beds.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, we've progressed. Okay, so enough of that giggy.
Okay. So I hopefully most people watched the episode where we had Paul Trotter write to us, an Aussie friend, and
Yep.
talked about his desire to go beyond the clubs, the competitions,
Yep.
the repetition, the wow shots, and all of that. And he said he was excited to shoot again. And
Yeah.
he went on his first trip, and I just want to briefly read a letter I got from Paul. Love these letters.
Yeah. Good follow-up.
He went to the Blue Mountains, and I asked what that was, and I guess there's uh, dense eucalyptus forests, and
Uh,
they release this oil into the air, creating a mist. And he says it's probably something similar to our Smoky Mountains. And he
okay.
said they're breathtakingly beautiful. On my trip, I wanted to capture one image that I loved.
Hmm.
I'm unsure if I've managed to do that yet. I need time to process the image. I took some shots in my usual manner. These are just standard landscape shots, but I had a different experience with one image. I enjoyed taking all the photographs that I snapped. This is positive in itself.
Hmm.
However, I vividly recall staring at these trees and actually saw the image in my mind. I did not have my camera, but the image that came into my mind was fixed in detail. When I got the chance a day later, I got my camera and took the picture I had seen in my mind's eye. This has never happened to me before. I just relaxed and felt the scene. I know it sounds stupid, but I still have that image in my head.
Hmm.
The challenge is for me to process the image to match what I visualized. This experience was powerful and has freaked me out a little bit in the best of ways. I was not capturing a photograph, I was attempting to create. It was not a replication of anything I had looked at previously. It was nothing like the stereotypical images that you see from the area. This
Hmm.
was amazing, but also perplexing.
Hmm.
Boy, what a perfect example of how I feel, where
Hmm.
when you see something, you just know what it's going to look like. Not in every little leaf in detail, but you just know what it will look like. And that becomes this force that guides you through the shot and through the processing. And I
Yeah.
responded to Paul that his fear that he won't be able to execute it is probably unfounded because while most of us think the execution is the hard part,
Yeah.
He's really done the hard part already. Now
Yeah.
he's got all the time in the world to figure out how to do it.
I go back to your Cole's rule of thirds.
Yeah,
I mean that he's done, that first part of that, the vision driven part of it, right? And then so he's two-thirds home.
yeah.
All he's got to do is figure, and like you've said so many times, he'll figure out how to process it.
Now we've got so much time with, I mean, in the dark room, skills were a lot more important. And
Yeah.
you had limited time to dodge and burn and manipulate the image. But with digital, with all the resources available, it's
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's exciting to hear someone get that excited though
Oh my
about
gosh, it just
feeling
kind of
that.
gave me goosebumps, honestly.
And it's pretty exciting.
Pretty
And that's the
Paul.
kind of people that we're inviting to our vision workshop, people who are ready to make that next step.
Right. And by the way, we did send out, speaking of the vision retreat, I'll call it, because the reason I use retreat as the word for that is it really is not going to be a workshop. It's, to me, there's three things: a tour, people show up and expect to be guided and go somewhere; a workshop, they expect some didactic sessions. Didactic. Only three syllables,
Not
but
even
it's a
close.
pretty good word. Come on, didactic. Anyways, for me, it's a big word. So, but there are some, you learn about image processing and maybe people talk about composition, yada, yada. But in this, a retreat, we're asking people to retreat from how they normally might want to figure out and learn about
Hmm.
vision and find their vision. We had 30, actually almost 40 people on the list to be notified, and it's interesting. Um, Only six, and we have 8 spots. Only six have written to our request was, hey, write us a paragraph or two as to why you want to come. And that's what I want to really talk about today because I think the result of that, now there were some people who said, look, I can't make it. It's the wrong time of the year, all that stuff, right? So that's real and honest. I get that. But I can't help but feel that when we put together a pretty detailed outline of what we're expecting, what you're expected to do, homework. There's going to be some questions to think about deeply that you can't talk about where we're going to go. We're not going to tell you where we're going to go. You have to write a couple of paragraphs of why you even want to come. I think some people, and again, I'm speculating, but I'm pretty confident on this, all of a sudden realize that that's a lot of work. Because we've said it before that if you want to go from a photographer who just captures snapshots or vacation pictures or even pretty postcard photographs to someone who is an artist, there's risk in that. There's what is that? I think maybe hold on. What did I do? Yeah. Oh, now I got confetti. This is crazy.
I
Anyway,
turned mine off because I didn't want to
stop
look
using
like an
my
idiot.
hands is what I'm going to do. Anyways, so I think if we polled some people, there would be some people saying, "Man," or they started to write about it, and we did receive this from a couple of people. You know what? I realized I actually do know what my vision is. I actually have found my vision. So I don't know, but I think it's an interesting thing to think about.
I
Why?
love Barry, our friend Barry's comment recently that it's a lot of work and that's the people you want to come to this retreat. And I got to say, when you were talking about that, I just got a text from a person here who says he doesn't like the word retreat. His name is George Custer. Anyway, it does take a lot of work.
Would it be General George
Yes,
Custer?
yes, George Custer. Um,
Retreat.
but Barry was right. It's good. You want people to come to this retreat who are willing to put in some hard work. Not
Absolutely.
lifting. I'm not going to have anybody lifting stuff around my house, but they are going to have to really search deep into their heart
Yeah.
about some topics that are tough.
Yeah, that's right. So, anyways, I mean, if you're listening to this and you have an interest to come to Colorado in April, we're still going to do it, even if we only have six.
Well,
Even if
I
we,
think you said we have seven, so we can take
I
one.
think we do have a seventh right now. But write to us. I'll put again information down below, but you guys should be able to get a hold of us no matter what. But I'll make sure you have that in this show. But anyways, Paul, back to Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thanks
so
for
much.
yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for expressing those things because Maybe a lot of people feel those things, but you're able to say them in a way that we all can relate to, and we appreciate that. And hopefully, others will be inspired by his experience.
Well, that's the main reason I think we really wanted to share this together is that his first one, my gosh, he said it in a way that, like I think you actually said, you could never say it so succinctly and eloquently. And then he follows up with a phenomenal experience, which captures what I love about Paul's stuff here is that it's what we're trying to accomplish in this channel. You're never going to find us talking about how to put on a neutral density filter and how long the seconds are and the inverse proportion of the squared root of 39, which will get you the proper refraction of the differential between the two, yeah, foreground and the background. But anyways, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Well, let's see what else. I hope where you've been places since our last recording. Where you been?
oh yeah, well, a lot. Let me see. Did no, we recorded after Scotland, right? I think we talked, yeah, we did. But I just came back from the contemplative photography retreat in Hawaii, which is one of my favorite things to do. We had a phenomenal group, really, really invested. And that's what gets me excited about what we're going to do with the Vision Retreat. It's going to be not unlike that. Um, it's a different headspace that people are in, a space that we have to hold open for them so that they can risk sharing some soft underbellies and share some ideas that maybe they've never thought before. And that happens at the contemplative retreat. And I fully expect that type of thing to happen at our retreat in April. So,
Good.
and then you and I, hey, we're going to be in Death Valley very soon, one of our favorite places.
Yeah, but it's going to be for a very long month.
Oh,
Jeez.
you're going to be with me, honey.
Yeah, in the car, cooped up. It's like I can't even get out. It's like hell.
You always look forward to the trip over to the Alabama Hills because you're in your own car.
I am looking forward to the Alabama Hills because I'm kind of determined, I hope, to finish my Ancient Stone
Oh,
series. And so
nice.
much of it takes place there. So,
Well, remember, we found that, and it's really not a new place, but I went way up the hill on that one side. I'm going to explore over there this time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's going to be different. Okay, people don't want to hear about all this. We've gone on long enough, but welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you weren't feeling well for a number of days there. So we'll stop this. Hey, folks, we'll see you in a couple of minutes.